welcome to the. Oh my god, it's not the. It's just welcome to Consume Content, where we help you find the best content to consume. I'm Josh. This is Matt.
I'm Matt.
Today we will be discussing Deathloop, available on Steam. For sure, on Steam, right?
Steam, PlayStation,
anywhere you can get games digitally, right? It'll be at the store as well. You can find it at a GameStop. Today, we're taking a break from movies, and
it's spooky.
It's spooky. Well, it has to do with dying in a death loop, and you come back to life, Groundhog's Day type thing. So I don't know anything about the game other than that basic premise.
Well, but also we're releasing this about around Halloween.
Yeah. Basically, it's going to be Halloween weekend this weekend.
Spooky.
So, Matt, I think that if people want to talk about what we're talking about today and sort of join our discussion and add on to their points, like if they'd like to tell us about what they think about Deathloop or this drastic direction we're taking into delving into games, I think...
Despite the fact that we've mentioned we were going to talk about a game for weeks.
I'm just saying, some people get upset, right? I think they could tell us on
It's blood. It's blood, I swear.
It's blood. It's blood. Oh. I think they can tell us on our Discord server, which will be linked in the description. Go ahead
What's
and join
it called?
It's called the group chat. That's what it's called. It's called the group chat because it's a group chat. You'd be among friends. Tell us how you feel. I feel like at a certain point we're gonna have to put out we're gonna have to take a stance, and have how do I say this? We're gonna have to start saying dramatic things in order to get attention. I feel, right?
What are you talking about? What things?
I don't know. I feel like we need to be, we're trying to be nice and this was my direction to be in. Right? We're trying to be nice, no spoilers, right? Trying to be nice and sell things to people so that way, they get the best content and they know they're going off our recommendations and whatnot. But I feel like, to beat this algorithm, the oh so oppressive algorithm, we're going to need to say something controversial. What's more controversial? No, this is an easy one. What's your stance on Deathloop? Is it a good game? Is it a great game? Obviously we are discussing it, so it must be great.
How is that controversial?
That's what I'm saying. I'm digging for something that might not be there, right? What's controversial? Is there something controversial about this game? Because I don't know anything about this game. Yeah,
the controversial thing is it's a great game and nobody's playing it.
That's true. That is a controversy in itself. I don't know. I'm digging here, Matt. Help me out of this grave I've made.
I'm worried you're going to start spewing lies about Sandy Hook or something.
No!
You make a claim that you gotta say dramatic things to get attention.
Not that dramatic. Oh no! I don't know. I'm tired. It's been a long week, but we should just cut to the chase because I don't know what I was digging for there. I'm a little delusional right now. Help me get back on track. What
you got too much pumpkin spice on the brain.
That actually might be the case because they ran out. Oddly enough, they ran out of regular coffee creamer at the store, and they only had pumpkin spice available. So I've been drinking.
So you had to settle for the pumpkin spice.
I had to settle for the pumpkin spice. It's all that was left. Either they overstocked or it's just not nearly as popular anymore. But either way, Matt, tell us about Deathloop so I can regain my mind and my footing. What's it about?
Well, I've been telling you to play it for months.
Yes, and I've not played it.
I was late on it even, but as soon as I played it, even though I hadn't spoken to you in several more months, I was like, you know what? I feel like Josh would really like this. So I texted you, and nothing. Still nothing.
I said sure, and then I never did it.
And we've, passed by like 3 Steam sales by now?
Yes, we have. Is it on sale right now? Let me look it up. Probably not.
I've been seeing it on Humble Sales, so I think you might have to subscribe or something, but it has been going on sale, and then obviously Steam Winter Sale is coming up, and it'll be on sale again.
Yeah.
They actually just released some new content. I don't think it's DLC. It's just new content.
I think I just saw.
I guess.
Yeah, there's a deluxe edition, right, where each character can wear a suit, right, and there's a gun. I could have sworn I just saw there's content for this game. There's the deluxe pack, and then there's the original game soundtrack, right? Package info. Yeah, that's
stuff like that. But either way, I bought the base game, and just recently it updated for free. So there's some DLC stuff, like new level. I think not a new level, but a lot of more new content. I think new story stuff.
Yeah,
or just extra add-on stuff. Anyway, the it's hard to describe it. Thinking of like this DLC that they're adding on. Because it's not like a linear game where it's not a regular RPG. You run through certain number of scripted levels that have been designed and laid out, and then you go from one to the next. And I think a pretty common idea with RPGs is you go back to levels.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. I mean, like talk about like Legend of Zelda. That's like that's a hallmark of a Zelda game.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of levels or a bunch of areas, but gaining one new power or one new item or something lets you reach different parts of that level, so you go back. Deathloop is taking that to a whole other level.
Okay.
At this point, I think I would trust Arcane with just about anything. Any game. What's the new one coming out? Redfall?
Is that also Arcane?
I'm pretty sure, right?
The vampire one?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's Arcane, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
Because I love the hell out of the Dishonored games. I actually haven't played Prey, but I'm sure that's good too.
Yeah. I also need to play Prey. So for people who are tuning into this episode and who usually are just here for movie stuff, right? The reason I think one of the benefits of Arcane Studio games is that they're focused on narrative, right? And so that way, because it's
like a movie. It's like another movie.
It's like a movie you can play, but you're in control of like all the little tidbits, and I think that's the benefit of a game, especially one made by Arcane. And there's just so much narrative and so much story and so many layers to everything, right? Like I really appreciate the no kill runs in Dishonored, right? And Dishonored 2, where I don't want to kill everybody. I don't want to kill anybody, right? Despite the fact that they may be horrible people. Maybe I'll just kill only the horrible people, right? Or maybe I'll just brand them as heretics and as criminals in the face with a branding iron and leave them.
You only did that to one guy.
Yeah, just one guy. I don't know. You can't brand everybody, but you could ruin people's lives, if you want.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices.
There's a lot of choices, right? And I like
and I
the
think
exploration.
They took that to heart, the fact that so many people enjoyed that about their games, the Dishonored games, and they found some way to apply that to a totally different style of narrative.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a different style of narrative, but it's just this different narrative, totally different IP they've created, different story, and also a different mechanics when it comes to replayability. Instead of just having different runs of, I'm going to run through this level and kill everyone.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the same level again, just reload, like actually go to the menu and reload. and then, do it without getting spotted, without touching anyone. This game, you play a level, but you keep playing it. You keep getting groundhogged, and you just keep playing it over and over again, and you keep learning new things.
Yeah.
And there's 4 different maps. There's only 4.
Yeah.
But each one has a few different times of day you can go to, and every time you go to them, you keep reliving the day. So you keep going. You can go to the same location on this island at the same time of day, but now equipped with different information. You keep progressing.
Got it.
It kind of Legend of Zelda's you that way.
Okay. So, I think. I mean, you're right. Like, I would love this game if I just bothered to fucking play it, right?
You would love this game, because just because you have a history of liking other arcane games of similar style. But honestly, that wasn't what sold me on it. That made me think like, oh man, Josh would love this. It was the fact that 5 minutes into the game, you see a little intro, a little cutscene, you play a little bit, get a tutorial, and then you get another cutscene, and it's just throwing story at you. This one's not shy about rushing through it. It's not going to tell you everything.
Okay,
it's
good.
just throwing you in. But the little bits you pick up are so damn funny.
Yeah.
I forget I think your name is Cole or Colt or something.
I think so. Yeah.
But
Colt.
and you only play Colt. You only play as that one character, but they throw some other wrenches in because you're not just playing this one story and you play the same day over and over again. They do throw some other obstacles at you. There's another person on this island who also can keep playing the day over and over again, but remember who they are and what and previous days they've played, and they're out to kill you.
Yeah.
At all times, you're just playing your game, and they can just pop into your game and try to hunt you down.
And this is an actual human being.
Most times,
yes. It's an actual human being who's just invading my world. And
yes, it's kind of like raiding you, but the way they built it in, it's all part of the story. Yeah. I forget her name, that character's name. I think it's like Juliet or something.
Yeah, it says here it's Juliana.
Yeah. Juliana. Yeah. But the rapport between those two, the back and forth, just the little quips, I loved every second of it. It was so interesting to me, and I thought, I know Josh loves characters, good characters. They really did a number with these. They did a really great job writing this game out.
Okay, let me read the synopsis on Steam really quick, right? I'm going to skip the first line. It's like, the next generation, first person. I'm going to skip that. In Deathloop, 2 rival assassins are trapped in a mysterious time loop on the island of Black Reef, doomed to repeat the same day for eternity. Obviously, that's not giving a lot away, but but you were saying these are 2 assassins. The main player, me, right? Only me, not anyone else, plays Colt. And then the other person who could invade my world is Juliana. And Juliana's objective is to kill me every time to reset the day.
Yeah. There's the story. Yeah, that's pretty much.
But narratively,
the overall.
I don't know why. I don't know why Juliana's killing me every day, right?
Yeah, but basically to stop you. Because she's aware of your overall goal. Because she's able to recall everything that's happening. And she doesn't want you to get what you want. So she's just constantly trying to stop you.
Wonderful. This sounds. I don't know. That's. Because it's usually another player. Right? And then.
When the game first came out, I'm sure it was always another player.
Yeah.
But the game does have AI built in. Like, you will most often probably now get a computer. But it is fun when you get a human.
Yeah. I'm just a little confused by the time mechanics, right? So, like, if I, for example,
hey, you want to talk about Majora's Mask next?
No, I do not. So you got 2 people, right, in a time loop, right, and if Juliana kills Colt, right, does she then have to? Does the day just reset for her as well, or does she have to wait to die in order for the day to like do they both have to be dead for it to restart, and vice versa, right?
I mean,
So if I in my playthrough, right, if I play as Colt and I kill Juliana, does Juliana not come back until I die and reset the day, or does Juliana just keep coming back? That's sort of my question.
it's an interesting point.
Time
I think
travel.
based on, well, it's not really time travel. Based on
Well, yeah, it's
the story in the game,
Uh-huh.
you are always playing on in the same day,
Uh-huh.
but so is the rest of this place you're at, this island.
Uh-huh.
There's another force creating this, causing this. So I think you die, but the day will continue.
Uh-huh.
But when you die, your experience is you're waking up the next day,
Yeah.
but the day you were just in does continue, and then it ends, and then you go back to the beginning of the day.
Got it. So it's okay, I don't got it. So it's I die, go back to the beginning of the day. If I don't die, is there a second day, or does the day end and then reset to the beginning of the day?
No, that's what I was saying. The island experiences the same thing at all times. It is always living the same day as well.
Got it. So it
You don't
resets.
ever get a second day. You
it.
just, the island will always reset no matter what. So even if you don't die,
Yeah.
you just make it to the end, the island will still reset. The day resets.
Got it. So I can kill Juliana early in the day, and then when the day resets, it resets and Juliana's back. Just
That's
like
the
everything
thing.
else.
I'm pretty sure Juliana can invade every part of the day that you enter.
Mm-hmm.
You can run into her 4 times, I think it is, a day.
Uh-huh.
But you usually don't. It's not. You might get 1 or 2 a day, but it just depends. But no, I don't know how they explain it. I think just basically Juliana's just up to some other shit, so she somehow respawns and then just invades your other part of the day as well.
Okay.
I think they explained it, but
Yeah. So, narratively, what's going on? What can you tell me without spoiling too much about the narrative? Because I'm playing an assassin. I mean, I should go over, like, the visual elements of this as well, like, just what I'm looking at. It's crazy. It's colorful. It's almost like 70s retrofuturism to a certain extent. Like,
definitely.
there's a lot of colors. There's a lot of, like, fucking... just a lot of use of color. I wish I had a better vocabulary to explain what I'm seeing, because there's to a certain extent neon lights, but then
Yeah,
the
and
design
then
language, yeah,
the design kind of leans towards like that Art Deco mid-century kind of
yeah,
vibe. Very like 70s disco, abstract atmosphere.
There's
think
art
because-
pieces in this where like there's these televisions that are propped up along these like rings, and they all have eyes on them. It's a lot of like 70s type of like pop art and abstract art. And
I'm pretty sure the game doesn't take place in current day.
Yeah.
I think or at least when this experiment started, so the day that they're living when it first started.
Yeah.
I think it was in the past, so maybe it was in like the 70s, which is why the setting looks the way it does.
Yeah.
But it might
Okay.
be wrong.
Yeah. That's also
Time
interesting.
does play a role.
Like, is time continuing to move outside? I'm asking too many time travel questions, right? Like, this loop has been happening for God knows how long, right? And they're in the loop, but is the world outside of the island still continuing to pass through time, right? And is this effectively working as some sort of like stasis, where like by the time they break out of the loop, it's actually like 2022? Or do they just what's up?
I think the world is frozen outside.
Okay.
So the whole island is trapped in that moment of time, that one day.
Mm-hmm.
And then the loop just
Yeah.
keeps it running in that one day,
Yeah.
and time outside just remains as is.
Got it. Okay.
or rather it freezes as is, like it doesn't change. I think, but I don't think you ever get to the outside world, so it's not really something that comes into play.
Yeah.
Because the idea is you playing as Colt, as well as Juliana, as well as a handful of other people on the island, other characters. You all had other roles. You didn't come to this island as, you know, who you're playing. Someone trying to break the island. Someone trying to assassinate Juliana, or as Juliana trying to assassinate Colt. You came with other roles, but some stuff happened, and this is where you ended up.
Got it. And you just so happen to be stuck in this time loop as this put into this new position.
Yes, and the time loop is working as functioned, but or is it? It actually might not be, but it is serving that purpose. Like it is resetting the day. Yeah. But I don't think it is doing it exactly the way it was supposed to. Yeah. Because other than you and Juliana, everyone else resets as exactly. They start the day as the very first day of this experiment. Got it. Whereas it wasn't supposed to. I think everyone was supposed to live in this utopia. Yeah. They stocked up on all these supplies, although you don't need it. You only really need a day's worth of supplies. Yeah. But every living person on the island was supposed to reset every day, but also be able to remember everything. Yeah. So basically you could live forever and have all these experiences, but you never have to worry about aging or dying, because your body and everything around you resets every day.
But it's the same thing every day for all of eternity, but something went wrong. Yes. Okay, something went wrong, and most people can't remember the days go by, and
especially the henchmen.
Especially the henchmen. Got it.
The island is just filled with NPCs that you get to play with.
And then who are the... Like, I'm imagining it's some sort of, like, Bioshock situation, right? Where, like, all these people came to this island, like you said, to live in utopia, right? And then something went horribly wrong. I don't know what that is yet. Okay, without spoilers, is Colt a good guy? Is he the good guy in this story?
Ooh,
or is Juliana...
If you'll allow me to titillate you.
Okay. Please tittle.
It's... You sure?
God damn it. Just go.
It's actually not so black and white. There's no good guy, bad guy. Okay. I mean, you're kind of setting those roles as you start this game, because that's the role you're playing. You're the good guy. The bad guy's trying to kill you. Yeah. But as you exist and how you were meant to exist, your characters, it's not so black and white. They all just had jobs. They were all people who knew each other, trying to, I don't know, make this experiment work. And they had different roles, but it's not like, it's not just one bad guy trying to take it all down and one good guy trying to fight him off. It gets more complicated from there.
So then the core sort of MacGuffin of the story, right? Is this debate I'm assuming it's this sort of debate between Colt and Juliana, and I have no idea what their sides are, like what positions they picked, right? But like you were saying, usually in like a morally gray, usually like in a morally gray sort of thing like this, it comes down to a question, and I'm going to assume that the question is whether or not the experiment should continue, or some sort of other framing of it, right? And Juliana has one opinion. She's trying to stop Colt. Colt is trying to do something. I don't know what that is, right? And I guess that's it. Like, they're on either side of this question is what I'm asking. Is that the case?
Yeah, pretty much. If you boil it down, that's it's time travel. It's the time loop, Groundhog Day kind of situation. So it's never gonna be so cut and dry, like like a kid's show. Like like Doofenshmirtz has trapped everyone in a time loop to. Just trap him because he's evil.
To just fuck with him, because that's what he does.
Yeah.
every week.
Well, he usually no, I don't know. Those shows are usually pretty well written out. I think he's usually got a motivation.
No, but usually its motivation is just to
it's
fuck
usually,
with people. Yeah, he's not.
Well, it can be silly, but no, I don't know. There's usually a reason.
Yeah, but he's sort of just like this very like. Okay, I guess we're gonna debate about Doofenshmirtz. It's like Doofenshmirtz. From what I remember of the show, right?
Bury the platypus.
I don't think he's ever tried to kill people, right? Because it's a Disney show, right? He's just a nefarious, like, evil genius, quote unquote evil, right? And I'm pretty sure he's just does things to like annoy people that have annoyed him. I'm pretty sure that's like the core of all of his plots. Like, you're right, he definitely has motivations, right? But I think it's always to like make traffic worse or to like I don't know why I thought of that, but
I mean, that I'm pretty positive that is one of the storylines. Actually, that he tries to create the ultimate gridlock in the tri-state area.
yes, like stupid things like that, right? And why did I bring him up again?
I brought him up.
You brought him up, yeah. Like, what was the comparison I was making though? The point I was trying to make, like he had
that there's not just so clear cut good and evil.
Exactly, right? And so, and it's usually like if it's not clear cut good and evil, it's usually because it's like a very like complicated and layered, morally gray question as to like how do we do what are we gonna do? How are we gonna solve this problem? And because they're not able to sort of make a decision about it, or I should say, two factions have made two very opposite decisions, and they disagree so much about it that they're in a death loop. Oh my god, it's a figurative death loop as well.
If you need to think about it as sides that people have taken, lines that are drawn, it's really you against everyone else.
Okay.
Juliana is basically on the same side as everyone else, and whatever zone she pops into to try to kill you, she'll just jump onto the loudspeaker and tell everyone, "Hey, Colt's over here. Everyone go get him."
Got it.
She is basically still on the same side as everyone else, or rather that
That's what I figured.
she hasn't really changed her
Allegiance.
motivation. Or, I mean, I guess she has different goals, but she is still kind of on the same side of things as the rest of the people on the island. Colt, on the other hand, has kind of subverted the expectations that were given as people who all joined this venture.
Yeah.
So he's kind of the odd man out, and everyone's out to get him. Which is why it's like you don't really ever run into allies. You don't have like a base to hide out in. You're just always living this day, kind of like how we talked about boss level.
Yeah.
You're just always waking up, and there's people trying to kill you
every day. Okay. And so again, I sort of gotta know, like, because now based on what you're telling me, right, or just based off this setting, like everyone's ready to kill Colt, right? Everybody's been mobilized. And I'm looking around, like you said, there's goons everywhere, but they weren't goons prior to this, right? Prior to the beginning of the experiment.
They kind of were goons, but, you know, they're exactly the same goons, just now with the additional task of killing Colt when they see him.
So basically, they've been put to task. Something happened in the days preceding the beginning of the experiment that would start the death loop, and everybody's mobilized against Colt. And he, like you're saying, he was something else before, but now he's put himself in this position.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of where Juliana comes in, though, because the day you keep living is day one of this this venture, this experiment. So it's not that everyone just, because the night before day one, everyone learned something about Colt. I think Juliana just actually gets on the loudspeaker for the whole island at the very beginning of every day and tells everyone what Colt's up to, what you're up to.
Got it.
And that's what sets things in motion.
That's weird. Okay.
I mean, it makes sense because she's the only other person who knows what you're up to. And she has the ability to
tell everyone,
to tell everyone and say, "Hey, this is Juliana. You all know me. I'm telling you, Colt is trying to, stop all of this. Is trying to end things for us. Everybody, capture him, kill him."
Okay. It's $60 right now. $80 for
You missed your chance several
I didn't
times.
miss my chance.
I've seen it on sale for at least $20. It's probably been cheaper than that.
It's gonna be on sale again. I'm gonna get a good deal.
It will be.
Okay. All right. A good deal. All right. Where are we at on time? We're only about like halfway through, but I don't know. Like, how much more could you tell me about Deathloop? Because yeah, I have to play it now. Like, I have to play it because
No,
What?
Josh.
What?
You had to play it because I made a huge recommendation to you. What was it? It was it was when I first got this job I have now. It was like January of this year. I told you, but
it was earlier than that.
It might have been December.
Yeah,
last December.
I don't know. Like, I thought we started our jobs around the same time. So
yeah, it might be. So
I think it was solid.
It's
year
almost.
ago.
It's almost been exactly a year, and I told you, dude, Josh, this game is so good, you gotta play it. And you've just been ignoring me.
I'm so busy watching YouTube.
I even texted you when I saw it go on sale the first time.
I know you did. And every time I see it on sale, I'm just like, oh, I should get it, and then I don't. Because I still haven't played Prey. I bought Prey, and it's just been sitting on my computer, collecting digital dust. And
Oh,
it's just, what?
You know what we should do?
What?
We should play Scorn.
Oh, I don't want to play Scorn. For all you
That-
movie people who are listening to this and don't know what Scorn
That'll be your
is,
punishment.
imagine what's the dude's name? The guy who designed the alien from Aliens, the Xenomorphs, H.E.
Oh,
Geiger,
I forgot.
something
Sure.
Geiger. Imagine if there was an
No,
entire
he invented radiation.
he invented the Geiger counter. Got it. And then wasn't that Marie Curie? Anyway, so imagine all the gross shit, all the gross designs, all that concept art you saw of H.E. Geiger and how that went into the Xenomorph. It's an entire game designed like that, and it's gross.
It's worse, actually.
It's worse. Yes, there's
Because
many things,
it doesn't feel like alien body flesh horror.
Yeah.
It's human body flesh horror.
Yeah, it's really gross.
I watched a few hours of gameplay, and I'm okay to watch gameplay, but oh man, that's but that wouldn't be a punishment for you.
I don't know. Maybe I heard some of the combat was actually terrible. Was actually really clunky.
Yeah, it's from what I saw, it's not the best. It's not combat for combat's sake, just for good combat. I think it's just meant to stress you out, to add to the feeling of the game, being threatening to you.
I hate that. I hate that.
Did you even play Dead Space?
Yeah, I love Dead Space, but Dead Space wasn't aggravating like that. It wasn't clunky. Well, I mean, the Zero G's was clunky, but they're gonna fix that in the remake. They showed they showed the hovering, and that was more of just a design problem they couldn't solve in the moment, for that game.
Well, yeah, the team that made that game wasn't it 9 people?
I think was it Visceral? Oh man, I didn't know there were 9 people back then. But
maybe just at the beginning of when they first made the first Dead Space. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was some small team. Maybe it was more.
I don't know how I feel about them adding in the voice actor from into Dead Space 1 into the remake. Because it looks like by the trailer they're adding a voice for Isaac when he doesn't have a voice in the first game.
Oh.
Yeah. But he has a voice
a
voice in the second and third game because they realized they're no, he's he's not a quiet guy. He's literally voiceless, and that's weird. And so
I think it's just one of those things where the masses opinion is they want to connect with the character, so it's they're remaking this game, this hugely popular game.
Yeah,
let's cover our bases and check all the boxes that the majority of demographics which is a character who speaks.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Who's publishing the Callisto project? Let me look it up.
You mean Dead Space
4? Yes.
1.5 or 4 or something? Yeah.
Callisto.
Well, he's looking that up. Yeah, we're assuming most of you movie nerds out there who might be listening to this also like video games. That's why we're breaking into this. This is something we talked about because it was just a game I wanted to talk to Josh about. But this is your chance.
Is this Josh
Talk to
Duhamel?
us.
Go on. Yeah. Talk to us. Tell us. Do you want to hear about
Comment.
video games?
Tell us if you want more video game stuff. Tell us if you want less. That's the point. Or tell Josh to play Scorn, and then he kind of has to.
Ooh. All right. Crafton, Striking Distance Studios, right?
I swear, the game studios have the worst names.
They have a lot of terrible names. What is this? Crafton, create the original, connect the world. What? Is this the publisher?
Well, the publisher might be different from the studio making the game.
Well, that's what it says. It says Crafton Games, and then they have studios underneath them, right? Bluehole Studio.
Typically.
God, these names get worse.
Bluehole?
Yeah, so there's PUBG Studios, right? Rising Wings, then Striking Distance Studios, right? Which is making the Callisto project, and then Bluehole Studios, right?
Bluehole?
What the hell does Bluehole make? They make oh my god. We will become a leading game production company in the MMORPG genre.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
I'm so tired of those.
I'm so tired. I never got into any of those, but I'm like, Bluehole. God, such a terrible name, Bluehole. Ugh. All right.
You saw Arrested Development, right?
Yeah, somewhat. I know about the guy who blew himself.
How did he blue himself?
How did
in
he
his
blew
blue
himself?
hole?
All right, so they have Terra, and they have Alien Ascent, Infinite Realms. What does it look like? Oh, they have a lolly bunny anime girl. Oh, great. Okay. And then...
So Josh is excited.
No! Don't put me in that corner. God, and this is like sort
Nobody
of like
puts
steampunk.
bunny in a corner?
This is baby in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
That's the joke, because you
Okay.
said anime bunny.
These just look generic. I'm sorry, Blue Hole. All right, I'm sure you get good enough numbers to validate your existence and your job, but I don't know. Is this really the Callisto Protocol? Yeah, the Callisto Protocol. Explore the depths of fear in an all-new story-driven... Oh, it's got Karen Fukuhara in it. Survival horror game from the mind of Glenn Schofield. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is Josh Duhamel. So they got like
I think
an actor.
Karen I think I might be wrong. Maybe there's more about her I don't know, but I think Karen Fukuhara is in that hyper like precarious position where she's in a huge IP. She's in The Boys. She has a pretty major role in The Boys.
Yeah.
She could use it as a springboard to incredible amounts of fame.
Well,
but for some reason, she's just poorly managed, or she isn't, really taking her time to look through that. I don't want to insult her. I think she's pretty good on The Boys, but
I think it's a matter of like, my cousin Charlie was telling me that she's actually in a bunch of stuff. She's like a working voice actress. She's in, like you said, she's in The Boys. She played Katana in the first Suicide Squad movies.
That's right, yeah.
And then, but of
which
course she
was
had a
barely
mask
a
on.
role.
Barely a role. She had a mask on, right?
And she was also the train attendant, the lady with the food cart in Bullet Train. Did you notice?
Yeah, I was surprised that she just gets killed. Like, she's just like...
Did she get killed?
Yeah, because then like the killer who takes her place, right, has like copies her hair.
Oh yeah.
Right? Or like has their own hair, whatever. It's like steals her outfit.
It was like Zazie Beetz in the giant like stuffed animal costume.
Exactly. And it was I was surprised that her character just dies. Off screen.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When an actor who's doing really well for themselves is in some pretty big projects, but then takes these tiny little roles, that's where I feel like they fall apart. Mm-hmm. That's where they don't know. They want to keep saying yes to roles because it's more work, more attention, more screen time, but then you just get shoved off into these tiny little roles.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, so I don't know how I feel about the Callisto Protocol. I don't want to say I don't like Josh Duhamel. I do like Josh Duhamel. I like him in a bunch of stuff. right? But
Yeah, I'm fine with
for
it.
some reason, seeing like, no, this doesn't make sense either. Like my criticism doesn't make. I don't know. It doesn't look as fun to me as Dead Space, or it doesn't look as unique to me as Dead Space. But Dead Space, even the first one, had actors with their actual faces in it. You know.
A few, yeah.
Yeah, and so
Well, in the first one.
in the first one, yeah. And then I don't know. Like the armor from Dead Space is just so visually distinct. But the reason why I bring up the Callisto Protocol is not just because it's made by the same like creative director who made Dead Space, but because they announced the Callisto Protocol, and then pretty soon, like a reasonable time after, right, for production purposes, they're like, they must have like, fuck, he's gonna make another game. We need to bring back Dead Space so we can cash in on this fucking thing. Because if he makes this and it gets big again, and we're gonna be left with our asses hanging out because we didn't we didn't come out with a fucking remake, and remakes are huge right now. And so, which one thing I'll say about remakes is like oddly enough, like this doesn't really work in. I've yet to see it work in a how do I say this? You know, usually when they remake a movie, right? They'll add all these things and they'll change all these different elements of it, or they won't, right? And somehow the movie will be worse, right? Very rarely is a remake ever better than the original.
Yeah, because they remade it to just make money, and like I was saying, they just throw in stuff that they think works for mass appeal.
Yeah, I mean it's a different case if something's like reinterpreted, like Batman. You know, there's so many different creators of Batman movies. What? I'm not gonna start talking about Batman. I'm not gonna
Batman.
I'm not gonna start talking about Batman. I'm just saying as an
have
example.
A whole Batman special.
I'm just saying as an example, right? And so I like that in games, the good remake. Well, again, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the remakes, right? They're doing these things where they're changing up mechanics in order to modernize them, in order to like make them relevant to a modern audience. I got some earwax trying to fall out my ear, and
you in the ears.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Anyway,
did I tell you there's a part in Scorn where you're picking earwax out of a big ear on the wall?
That's weird. Why would you do that? Anyway,
you don't really.
So like in Resident Evil 2, right? Like they switched up the tank controls to like modern day third person shooter, you know? And they kept, you know, the point and click aspect of it, where like find the pieces, put together the clues, and then solve the puzzles, right? They kept all that, maintained a bunch of stuff, added cutscenes, made better cutscenes, like really like went way above and beyond like the HD sort of remake status, right? And we're seeing a little bit of that with Dead Space. I'm wondering like how much are they going to change, right? So obviously they added in the voice actor, and then they added in the 0G hovering, right? Because that wasn't present in the first game. And frankly, I don't mind if I can play the first game without the 0G basketball. Like,
what?
Pretty unnecessary.
What's wrong with it?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it's pretty unnecessary.
I want to play basketball.
In the middle of like, I got engines to repair. Like, I have comms arrays to fix.
You got squid babies to fight.
Exactly. Why am I playing 0G basketball? Right?
Okay. It's like Woody Harrelson in Zombieland. You gotta enjoy the little things. This guy is in the most stressful situation in all of humanity.
True.
And he could easily lose his mind at the drop of a hat.
But he has to focus on survival. This isn't like Zombieland, where like this is your reality now, so make the best of it. This is like there's a time crunch here. You know, we need to get out alive if possible. You know, we need to solve these. We need to repair this ship, right? With like physics puzzles in order to leave, because that's the goal. The goal is to leave.
Oh, so we're back to Legend of Zelda.
Yes, back to Legend of Zelda. Well, I don't know much about Legend of Zelda, right?
Did you play
Nope.
Breath of the Wild?
Nope. Nope. I've never played a single Zelda game. Never. Never. But sure, I'd love to one day. You know, I'd love to. You know,
I don't even know where to start.
I don't know.
Someone who's never played any, I don't even know where to start. Yeah, it's got to be Ocarina of Time. You have to start with Ocarina.
Probably.
But even then, it's so dated. I mean, it's still a fantastic game, but it's so dated.
Like this is what I mean.
I've seen how
remakes.
it turns people off.
Yeah, if they remake it, I'll play it.
Which, yeah, I think they're working on.
Yeah, if they remake it, which they probably are, right? Because they love to do that shit for money.
Well, yeah, but if it's that much of an issue, honestly, I think they knew they had a real hit with Breath of the Wild. If you wanted to, well, that's kind of the whole idea with all of their games.
Yeah,
it's kind of like what we're talking about. It's always a reincarnation.
Yeah,
it's always reliving the same battle. So you could jump into any game. So honestly, if you want, you could just open up Breath of the Wild and just start playing.
I just need a Switch. You know, I don't have one.
It's been out since 2017. You can just walk. You could just pick one up off the street nowadays. They're everywhere.
They don't got that many in stock.
That's why I said you could pick them up off the street. They're
I don't
everywhere.
know if I want to spend that kind of money. It's kind of pricey.
Kind of pricey.
Kind of pricey.
We're gonna go to Frank's, and you can pick up a Switch for cheap.
Frankenstein's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I should play Deathloop. I'll play Deathloop before I buy a Switch. All right. I promise you that.
Well, luckily you can play Deathloop on the Switch.
Oh, I'll play on my PC, thank you. And so
no, yeah, it's not on the Switch. There's no way it can handle that game.
No, it can't. It is a weaker console. Tech wise, but we have about.
Did everyone else hear that?
What?
You sneezed and I don't know. I heard something.
What?
We'll see what everyone else says. They heard something different, I'm sure, but.
What do you think I said?
I don't know.
Okay.
You said something.
All right, fine. We have about, I don't know, 10 or 11 minutes left on this podcast.
Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about the time.
I only worry about the time because I want to potentially I'm literally I just thought of this, right? Cuz I had these headlines open, right? Do you want to talk about movie news? Yes or no? That face says no. That's a very De Niro face.
I think
just to finish
other than calling out that this is around Halloween time, I don't really want to tie these episodes down to a certain period. I think that's something for another show or another
type of thing.
Another video.
Yeah, for another type of thing. I just happen to have this open, and we'll talk about it after the show because I do want to talk to you about it. I just want to know if you wanted to capitalize on it, but no, let's not. What am I playing right now? What are you playing right now? I'm playing
a crafty game.
A crafting game. So I am playing this game called Cultic. Who's crying right now?
Oh, that's me. Wow.
Oh my god, I'll be right back.
And then he recedes into the night, fades into darkness, at the beck and call of his feline masters. That was pretty good. That was done to good effect.
Yeah, it's just old orange bastard. Well, he's not old. He's young orange bastard. He's out there. He's back there eating in the dark. But yeah, what were we talking about? Because I don't know, Dead Space was. But going back to that, sort of clunky sort of thing I was saying, right? Where, what was clunky again? What were we talking about that was clunky?
Your butt.
My butt is clunky. That's a private matter, all right? Many of doctors have tried to fix it.
Hey, you stood up and turned around. That's on you.
Look, okay? We don't have to make my clunky butt a topic of this podcast. Although it is a timeless topic, we don't need to dwell on it.
Tell me,
what?
Are you gonna play Deathloop?
Yeah, I just said I would. I said I would. I just, I don't get paid till Friday.
Well, no, don't buy it now. Buy it when it goes on sale.
That's what I'm planning. I'm planning on buying it when it goes on sale again, and then I should be able to run it. I don't imagine why I wouldn't be able to. Although I
Oh,
do.
and you know what? You know what I could do?
What could you
And
do?
kind of what I was planning to try to do is if you bought the game and we're playing it, I can sign in and play as Juliana and raid your game.
and then you could just annoy me.
And I can fuck with you.
Please don't, because you know the game better than I do, so you'd know how to find me.
Well, that's kind of the thing. Juliana always knows the game better than you.
Okay, that's annoying. Oh.
Well, that's just how it is.
Yeah, that's how I keep it exciting. But then,
Let me hit you with this, actually.
okay,
Because it's a daily thing. You you live in this one day, but you live throughout several parts of the day. Whenever you get killed, you reset your day. There's just there's no load saves to reload or anything.
Yeah.
You just have to restart your whole day.
yeah,
The game can be unforgiving in that way, but it's done on purpose because that kind of takes away from the whole point of the game if you can just reload your save.
yeah,
So what can happen is you can play a whole day and get to nighttime and
Yeah.
you're really doing some stuff and trying to, accomplish your goals.
Yeah.
Juliana can just pop in and snipe you right in the head, and then you lost your whole day. You have to restart the day,
it's fucking horrible.
reset all that progress.
That's horrible.
That's what I want to do to you.
You've don't do that. Stop that. That's so creepy. That's such a creepy face. Ladies, he's taken. Okay, all right. For all you all you serial killer fangirls out there, he's taken. Okay.
Yeah, thanks. But keep in mind, her face is much scarier if that was an issue.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, I don't know. I think we can call it. I'm still, despite your attempt to scare me. What?
If we were to continue this trend of talking about games as well, is there a game you would recommend to me?
Let me.
What are you
think.
hot on right now?
What am I hot on? I'm playing right now. I'm playing 2 games. Have you played Vampire Survivor?
No.
Okay, so it is a stupid little game. It's very addictive, though. It's just like an arcade game, right? Similar to Deathloop, right? It's a roguelike, and so you go on these runs, and then you make progress by like collecting artifacts, and the game is kind of like meta in a Metal Gear kind of way, where everything, it messes with you, right? Where you have 30 minutes in a level, right? And that's like a hard timer, right? At the end of 30 minutes, death will come for you. And it'll be over. So really what it is, it's a race to see how much you can progress in 30 minutes, right? Like, can you like level out your character in 30 minutes? Like, it becomes these like multiple goalposts that are discovered every time. More goalposts are discovered every time you accomplish a new one, right? And I think it was supposed to be like Castlevania themed, which is why it's called Vampire Survivors. But you unlock new characters.
Oh wait,
and
is
abilities.
that not what Castlevania is called?
No, it's not what Castlevania is called. And so it looks like this little 8-bit game, right? But then it messes with you, and in the 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes are over, death comes for you and kills you. And death is a character that sort of pops up on screen and then murders you, right? But at a certain point, and I recently got to this point, there are certain items you can collect in combination with each other, right? To upgrade the items that allow you to freeze time, right? So when you freeze time, that timer well, the timer's not frozen, but everything in your vicinity is frozen, right? So when death comes at the stroke of 30 minutes, you freeze death itself, the Reaper. You freeze the Reaper, and then you're able to attack him, right? And because he's constantly frozen, it depends on your DPS, your damage per second, on just how fast are you going to kill him, right? And then once you kill death, right, then death is gone. What do you do from there? You get teleported to another realm, and then another layer of the game opens up, and your next set of goalposts are revealed, right? And then
From killing death isn't the climax of the game?
It's not the climax of the game. It's just another chapter because there are multiple Reapers, right? And then, like, I just beat a level, right, where I had to sort of fight all these Reapers one at a time, and each of them do, like, attack in different ways. And one of them's just really fucking annoying. But, like, the game does not tell you anything, right? It is void of narrative. It is entirely about watching numbers go up. And that's it. And it's just addictive fun, you know, because it's super light on controls. You don't need to, like, you literally only need WASD. And that's it. And then the whole game is just learning. You're just moving. The game auto attack. Your character auto attacks, and you sort of have to just learn the rules of every item and how it attacks. And that's what you think. But I'm gonna show you the game one of these days, and it's actually really fun because it's about what it really is a combat puzzle. That's what it really is. And so you're just trying to figure out, like, the right combination of items. You know, you look up your guide, you look up your... Like, you don't even really need to look up a guide. Like, because it gives you all the information you actually need in order to, like, give yourself goals in order to progress. And it's very fun. And it's a huge time sink and pastime. So it's a lot of fun. But what I want to play together with you and other people, right, is Darktide. Warhammer 40k Darktide. It is a Left 4 Dead style shooter.
What was that first word?
Darktide.
No.
What? Warhammer 40k?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it?
I take issue with this.
Why?
How do you phrase it? I have ire.
You have ire?
I possess ire at the thought.
You won't have to buy any plastic miniatures, right?
Why don't we just play Left 4 Dead?
Because this is new and this has customizable character classes.
You know, there is a new Left 4 Dead. What's it called? I bought it, or no, it's on Game Pass.
I had to return it. It wasn't fun. It was, my computer couldn't run it.
Oh, well then it's not the game's fault.
No, but I tried playing it at lower settings and whatnot. I still, it wasn't the same as Left 4 Dead. Like,
what's it called? No, it is Left 4 Dead though.
What do you mean? No, it's not Left 4 Dead. It's Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood. Yeah, but it's made by the same developers.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Like, I've played, like, this studio, this isn't their first time making a Left 4 Dead style game, right? And by Left 4 Dead style, I mean it's first person action, right? And there's hordes of monsters, right? And the first one they did was Vermintide and Vermintide 2. So they have, like, 2 games under their belt, and Vermintide 2 is a lot of fun, right? But it's mainly melee focused as opposed to range focused. And I mean, one of the problems with Left 4 Dead was that its melee wasn't great, and Vermintide just sort of solved that problem by making, like, all these melee weapons, like, with a lot of variety, and it was really good. But those had set characters, right, and set character classes, 4-player co-op, right, and it was fantasy themed, right. You fought rat people, like evil warp rat people from hell. Like,
yeah, that was in the second Suicide Squad movie, right?
Was it? No, those are starfish people. Anyway, it's
no, but there's that girl who controls the rats.
That's right. Yes, very similar. So Darktide is the sci-fi version, right, of Warhammer, and this one has actual. This one has.
Did you just say that?
What?
It's the sci-fi version of Warhammer.
Yeah, there's Warhammer 40k, which is the sci-fi version, and then Warhammer Fantasy is the fantasy version, Age of Sigmar. But it's what?
How?
There's a fantasy and a sci-fi.
How? How is it fantasy?
What, Warhammer?
Yeah.
It's got elves and dwarves and dragons and all that shit. That's the original Warhammer.
Oh.
The more popular one, I should say, is the sci-fi version, Warhammer 40K.
I've only seen the Space Marine one. I've only seen StarCraft.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody like goes to the Space Marines, but they don't know that like there's space elves and space orcs and space dwarves. Like they just brought back the space dwarves in the miniature tabletop game, right? They're called squats. Well, not anymore. They're not called squats anymore, but they used to be called squats.
Yeah, they're called squints.
No. Actually, no. Some of the models are still called squats. But that's a tangent. We don't have to get into that. Darktide, the zombies are from outer space, right? And so they're not alien zombies. What they are is that like the plague that turns people into zombies is from hell, but from space hell called the warp.
That's Doom.
Basically, but better because there are chaos gods, and you know their names, and they're
Doom.
No, like you don't name a god in Doom, right?
I don't know its name. But
exactly,
there's a big thing.
Exactly, they're just big demons, and that's it. Maybe they got names you could read the lore right, but they're not that big. I'm talking about Granddaddy Nurgle, all right, the god of pestilence and plague. All right.
Oh boy.
Chaos God Nurgle. Right? He's making poxwalkers. They're not called zombies. They're called poxwalkers. All right? They're dead people walking around with tumors and tentacles.
That's called the Flood, and the god is Hivemind.
No. There's no Hivemind's not a god. He's a parasitic Hivemind. Do you understand? And they have their own version of that too called the Tyranids. We're not getting into that. Okay? But basically, Darktide has to do with like evil cultists in space and monsters from hell and demons and all that. There's currently there's going to be 4 playable characters, right? One of them is called an Ogryn, which is basically a big human ogre who's dumb and like twice the height of all the other characters. It's great. It's great. And he has like a knife, but to him it's a knife. To everyone else, it's like a sword, like a big ass fucking sword. But he holds it like a knife because he's huge. It's great. I want to play that. I really recommend it. Maybe I'll just buy it for you. How about that, huh? I'll just buy it for you.
No, don't stop trying to buy me things. It's
fine. Buy it for you, and we'll play it. It'll be great.
We could play it. Don't buy me things. Stop it.
I don't know. My computer is showing its age. I'm probably gonna have to buy like a console at some point. But
4090
is melting people's graphics cards. So it's fucking melting people's
graphics card.
It is a graphics card. It's melting the connectors to the motherboard, I believe. I just saw that the other day.
It's a big boy.
It's a big boy. It's hot. Runs hot. But I think that's it for today. We did manage to get into a few tangents there at the end.
Which isn't the goal.
Which is not the goal, but
But we talked about Doofenshmirtz.
We talked about Doofenshmirtz. I forgot we talked about Doofenshmirtz. I forgot about him.
I don't think we even mentioned Perry the Platypus.
We didn't mention. It's not about Perry, okay? We know
it's always about Doofenshmirtz.
It's always about Doofenshmirtz and his personal problems and his personal beefs and vendettas against people who may have slighted him, like his parents. Like that's what it's always about. All right. So let us gently walk away into the darkness, into the ending of this podcast. Hopefully we've convinced you to check out. What are you doing? Oh yeah, your lights are turning off. Yeah, there you go. There he goes into the darkness. I can still see your elbow. Anyway, oh, they're gone. He's gone. There we go. Matt is not completely gone. I can still sort of see him. We'll see in the YouTube edit. But hopefully we've convinced you to check out Deathloop. It's currently available on Steam and most major consoles except for the Switch, because the Switch is weak. No,
what? This was before. Microsoft bought Bethesda, so
Yeah.
they had a deal. The game was a Sony exclusive,
Oh.
so it was only on PlayStation,
Yeah.
but then it got bought by Bethesda, so it was also on PC at release.
Yeah.
But now I think it's been a year, and I think it's coming to Xbox or it's on Xbox.
Oh.
So it should be on major consoles. Either way, play it on Steam if you
Wonderful.
can, because
Wonderful. Okay.
I recommend it. That's how I played.
Yes. But if you've enjoyed this podcast, consider following us. We're mainly on Spotify. I think we're mainly audio, right? The YouTube,
which is gonna change. No,
yeah,
no, we need to be
I'm
on
uploading
YouTube.
very slowly. It's my own fault. I'm tired after work. Anyway,
No, it's my fault too.
I mean, you don't have the login information. Haha. Anyway, so
Son of a bitch.
son of a bitch, you got me again. Anyway, so
If you're listening to this, and I'm talking to Justin because he's basically confirmed the only person who listens every week.
Henry
Comment
listens.
on something. Oh, Henry. Okay,
Henry
Henry
listens,
too.
and
Two
my buddy
people.
Jeff
There's
listens.
all three of you. Comment on something. I want to see comments, please.
Oh
Because
my God.
I just want to see something happen.
Oh my God.
Start a debate. Tell Josh to do something embarrassing. Tell him and he'll
No.
do it.
No.
Tell him.
I work with one of them. Anyway, this has
It's
been
okay.
It's okay. I don't want to get fired because I had to do something embarrassing. It goes like they're not
Tell
going
him to do
understand.
something embarrassing at work.
No, we're just gonna ramble on. This has been Consume Content, where we help you consume content. Hopefully, you'll consume this content. Thank you. I'm not doing anything at work. Like these are two different words. What?
Tell Josh to pull down his pants and underwear in front of everyone
No.
and pour baby powder on his
I
butt.
absolutely refuse. I'm gonna stop recording now.
It could be flour.